Hello and welcome to St. Paul's Children's Chapel for the week of March 20th. So glad that you have joined us. If you'll notice, we have our candles lit in the chapel behind us. And we light a candle during our chapel time to mark our time together as special. If you look here, you'll see that we are starting our third week in Lent today. Lent lasts 6 weeks and 40 days. We are almost halfway done. We are walking the way to the cross. During Lent, we are looking at faces. And here are the first faces that we look at. In the beginning, the baby was born. God chose Mary to be the mother of God. Now, when the baby looked into the face of his mother, he could already see the cross. And when he looked into the face of his father Joseph, the cross was there too. Now, Mother Mary and Father Joseph held the baby tight and kept him warm, and gave him everything he needed to grow. And the baby grew. The baby grew into a boy, and the boy Jesus and his mother and father traveled from their home in Nazareth to Jerusalem for a high feast. When the celebration was over, they were returning home, and Mary and Joseph looked, and they could not find their son. They thought perhaps he was just playing with the other kids, but he could not be found. So they turned around and went back to Jerusalem. They looked everywhere, and finally they found him in the temple. And Jesus was talking to the rabbis, the teachers. When he spoke, they listened because he knew so much. And when the rabbis spoke, Jesus listened because he wanted to learn. Now Mary and Joseph were very upset, and they asked Jesus, "Why have you done this?" And Jesus said, "Did you not know that I would be in my Father's house?" Mary and Joseph were very confused because their home was in Nazareth, where Joseph's carpenter shop was. They did not understand, but they did not forget. And that boy grew into a man. When Jesus was about 30 years old, he went into the River Jordan to be baptized by his cousin John. Do you see John? He's right here. He's kind of crazy there. John was a wild man. Jesus waded into the river until he was face to face with John, and Jesus said, "Baptize me." John looked at Jesus as if for the first time, and now he saw who Jesus really was. And John said, "How can I baptize you? You are the Messiah, the one we've been waiting for. You must baptize me." Jesus said, "No, it is written that you come to prepare the way. Baptize me." Jesus went down into the darkness and chaos of the water. When John lifted him back up into the light, there were people there who said they saw a dove come down from heaven and come close to Jesus. Some said they heard a voice from heaven too that said, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased." After Jesus was baptized, he went into the desert for 40 days. Jesus went to the desert to discover more about who he was and what his work was going to be. He was there for 40 days and 40 nights. There was little to eat or drink in the desert. One day he heard a voice. It said, "Why don't you turn one of these stones into bread?" And Jesus said, "No, to be a real human being, we need more than just bread to eat." Suddenly, it was as if Jesus was on top of the great temple. The voice came back saying, "If you really are the Son of God, why don't you jump and see if God sends angels to catch you?" Jesus said, "No, you do not test God." Then it was as if Jesus came and could see all the kingdoms of the world. The voice came back again. "If you follow me, I will make you king over all these kingdoms." Jesus said, "No, I am to be a king, but not that kind of king." And then that weird, bad voice went away. And Jesus went back across the River Jordan and began to do his work. I'm going to hold up these faces one more time. I want you to look at them and see what you can see in them. What emotions, what colors stick out. Here's Jesus in the desert. Here's Jesus being baptized by his cousin John. Here's Jesus as a boy talking to the rabbis. And here is Mary and Joseph holding their baby close. Next week, we will see more faces, see more of Jesus' life and work. Well, this week, we're going to do our prayer a little bit differently. I want you to think about who you would like to give peace to this week. Who in your life, or who in this world needs peace? Now I want you to think about who needs love this week. Who needs love because they felt unloved? Who needs love because they are just who they are? Who do you want to show love to? The third is joy. Who do you want to give joy to this week? Maybe they need joy because they've not had it in a while. Maybe they need joy because they're celebrating something exciting. God, help us bring, God, help us bring peace, love, and joy to those who need it this week. Amen. Now, let's say our Children's Creed. I believe in God above. I believe in Jesus' love. I believe the Spirit, too, comes to teach us what to do. Amen. Now let's say our children's prayer. For each new morning with its light, for rest and shelter of the night, for health and food, for love and friends, for every gift your goodness sends, we thank you, gracious Lord. Amen. We thank you, gracious Lord. Amen. Thank you for joining St. Paul's Children's Chapel this week. I hope to see you soon.